There are good chips and there are wood chips, but the best chips are friendships. If you want to be somebody in this world, you need people to like you. And how do you get people to like you? By being jacked. How do you get jacked? Creatine. In this video, I'm going to tell you every answer to the most commonly asked questions about creatine, questions I've been asked myself because I'm intelligent and also jacked. Let's get into it. What is creatine? A naturally occurring compound synthesized in your liver and kidneys from the amino acids arginine, methionine, glycine, then transported to your muscle, and its main mechanism is to regenerate ATP. You don't care about that yada, 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 boring science stuff. You care about the rest of these questions, which I'm going to answer now. Is creatine safe? Is the Pope from Chicago? This is one of the most studied supplements in the modern world, if not the most studied supplement. In 1999, they did a study on the kidneys, and after 5 years, there was no negative side effects. They, in fact, have not found a single pertinent negative side effect from creatine. So this question right here, does creatine cause hair loss? We're going to get into this soon, but to my balding brothers, fear not, okay? The only thing that's harmful about creatine is if you're not taking it. Next question. Will I gain weight if I take creatine? The way that you commonly hear this question asked is, does creatine make me bloated? Bro, you can't see my stomach, but basically it doesn't make you look bloated, it makes you look goated. It pulls excess water from your body into your muscles so you look more voluptuous, more bulbous, more dense, more dangerous. So are you gaining weight? Yeah, you're retaining water, which is good. And in addition to that, it increases your capacity for strength. A 1999 study found that subjects gained 1.5 to 2.5 kilograms. That's like 3 to 5 pounds of lean mass in 4 to 12 weeks with resistance training and creatine supplementation. So yes, you will gain weight if you take creatine, but it's the good kind of weight. That good weight, you know, that healthy weight that you like to, some meat on the bone, if you will. Next question. Is creatine a steroid? It's not a steroid. It does not affect your hormones in any steroid-like way. It is a naturally occurring substance actually found in food, most commonly red meat, but you can't eat a steak every single day and get the creatine value without the bad cholesterol and some other negative health benefits. So you supplement with the creatine supplement. Logical. That's why it's called a supplement. Creatine good for your brain? Short answer, yes. YouTube search Andrew Huberman creatine. He did like a 3-hour video on why creatine is good for your brain, but I can simplify it for you. Your brain, like your muscles, uses ATP, and creatine, as we mentioned, helps regenerate ATP. So increased cognitive function. Let me just present some statistics to you. That's the better way to do it. Research has found the 3 potential brain benefits to be improved short-term memory and reasoning, enhanced cognition under sleep deprivation, and possible neuroprotective effects in aging and neurodegeneration. 2 studies, first in 2003, found that 5 grams of creatine per day improved intelligence scores and working memory in healthy adults, and a 2018 meta-analysis concluded creatine may improve memory and executive function. One final note, vegetarians tend to see more pronounced cognitive benefits from creatine due to lower baseline creatine intake. What does creatine actually do? Increases power output, enhances muscle recovery post-exercise, promotes lean mass gains, reduces fatigue in high-intensity work, may improve hydration and cell volumization, supports brain ATP production in stressful or energy-demanding conditions. A 2003 study found that regular creatine use improved 1 rep max percentages by up to 14%. So if you're stuck on 200 and you want the 225 bench, take creatine. To combine these two into the same how much and loading, there used to be a sentiment that if you did a loading phase, 20 grams, then you get into creatine land, whatever you want to say earlier. Doesn't matter. Science now says you can start with 5 grams, keep taking 5 grams. And back in the day, I was saying just take 5 grams, fade the loading phase. So I was kind of on the wave before everyone else with that. Not uncommon for me. I'm always on the wave early in things in my life. I would give you an example, but I can't think of one right now. Just step by my side, come see the stuff that I'm on, and in 10 years, you'll see that I was doing it in the first place. Nonetheless, 5 grams of creatine a day The loading phase premise was that you get to saturation sooner. That is true to a degree, but ultimately, if you're taking creatine, it's going to be for an extended period of time. So you're ultimately going to end up at the same degree of saturation, same degree of gains long term. So unless you want to look insanely bulbous in the next 3 days for no reason, you don't have to load it. 5 grams of creatine a day. Does creatine cause hair loss? This question stems from a 2009 study done for 3 weeks on rugby players who were doing creatine loading. Their DHT, their dihydrotestosterone levels, raised over the course of the 3-week study, and people with elevated DHT who are predisposed to male pattern baldness, that's a no good mess right there. But there was no correlation, and since there hasn't been a single study, nonetheless, in 2022, the International Society of Sports Medicine made a statement that there's no compelling evidence that creatine causes hair loss. So if you're one of my balding brothers out there, you're good, bro. The gains, if anything, are more important, but you don't even have to worry about it either way. So get on the creatine. Can teens take creatine? The answer is yes. In 2001, some sort of pediatric association was skeptical on creatine, but in 2021, it was shown that creatine in post-puberty adolescence can actually be beneficial in many ways, as formerly discussed, as long as the teen is physically active and eats properly. So, teens, if you're trying to get jacked and you already hit puberty, get on the creatine. Why? Why should you take creatine beyond the benefits I've just discussed? What are the real world reasons? Man or woman, no matter who you are, I want you to imagine this hypothetical. You're on the street, somebody grabs you, and they're just enough stronger than you to rob you, whatever. It's a criminal, okay? And you want to fight back. You want to be strong enough to fight back, but you're not strong enough. What would give you the extra boost? Not to mention that, if you're jacked in this world, you're chilling. But anyways, back to this hypothetical. What would give you the extra boost? 5 grams of creatine that I'm going to dry scoop right now just for you to see the necessity. I guess that's the reason that I'm giving. I'd like to make a toast to this 5 grams of creatine that has kept my physique just jacked enough. Not even jacked, just mid enough so that somebody doesn't see me on the street and say, I'm going to rob that guy. Or just voluptuous enough mass on my body so that when a gust of wind hits me, I'm not blown away like a piece of thin paper, but rather only startled slightly backwards. There are good chips and there are wood chips, but the best chips are friendships. This has been another Enzo Elaborates Hood Classic. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe and comment an idea for the next one. Until then, we out.